Hi guys, welcome back to GFFA Games and the Old Republic. We are here on Corellia. Last episode we finished up the quite extensive planetary quests on Corellia, and in doing so we've sort of half defeated the Empire on this planet according to the story. However, we do have the class quests left to do, and this is the entrance to Jedi Commander. Let's just remind ourselves, Master Toll Braga is leading an Imperial invasion of Corellia. If he's not stopped, billions will die, fueling the Emperor's ritual to destroy the galaxy. Master Satil named you Supreme Commander of Jedi forces on the planet. She wants you to rally the Republic troops while tracking down Master Braga. Captain Rickdean can help you locate the Jedi already on Corellia's surface. You'll need their assistance to hold off the Imperials. Speak to Captain Rickdean at the Sirocco Freight Building in the Blastfield shipyard. So that's where we are. If you remember, Master Toll Braga was one of the council members who accompanied us to fight the Emperor last time, but unfortunately, like us, he fell to the dark side. We managed to escape. He wasn't so lucky. So he's now leading. For some reason I thought there was going to be enemies in here, but of course this is a Republic base, isn't it?
I want those shield generators online yesterday. Move it, privates!
Captain Rickdean? Master Satil Shan sent me. I'm the new Jedi Commander.
You made it. Thank the skies. The Empire controls so much of Corellia we can barely establish a landing zone. The enemy has us under constant bombardment. We're in a blasted bottleneck.
Sounds like our first order of business is knocking a hole in the Empire's forward lines.
You'll want to speak with Corporal Hartkey about that. My job is to organize your forces. The shuttles bringing your reinforcements will arrive shortly. In the meantime, you should gather the few already here. I have coordinates to the last known locations of your fellow Jedi. That's the best I can offer.
You've done well. I'll take it from here.
This location is the rallying point for your forces. As the reinforcements arrive, they'll come here. Take the intel on the Jedi you're looking for. I hope you find them.
Right, so the burning apartment building. Of course they are, why wouldn't they be? So it looks like us defeating the Empire in the story, the planetary story, hasn't really paid off, has it? Because they're still here in force. Never mind. Now you'll remember we have a little bit of trouble navigating this planet, so my apologies if this gets a little bit annoying. If we get lost. This one looks fairly straightforward, just straight down the road. Haven't done a whole lot of Star Warsing over the last couple of weeks since I played. Well, actually, it was only last week that I played this. No, not much at all. I've been watching the MCU through, and I've got up to this point now where it's just endless Disney Plus series, and they're varying. I wouldn't say varying quality. They're all fairly high quality that I've seen so far, but varying interest rates. For me, Loki season 1 wasn't that interesting. WandaVision was a little bit better, and now I'm watching. Oh, I've just finished Falcon and Winter Soldier. Not bad. I have seen that one before, and I thought it was quite boring when I first watched it, but actually sitting and paying attention to it, it's actually quite good. It's got the young girl in it that played Enfys Nest in Solo. And it does make me wonder, because I know she was in the Willow series as well, and I've not seen that, but it does make me wonder, has she been in anything that isn't a Disney product? Or is she one of these, like, Disney kids? No offense to her. She's not the greatest actress, but I think that's probably because she's just been given these quite difficult roles to make interesting, I think. I mean, she's playing like a terrorist leader, a super soldier in Falcon and Winter Soldier, and she's playing a terrorist leader in Solo. I'm not sure what she plays in Willow, but hopefully it's not a terrorist leader. But you never know. But yeah, all right. I also watched The Eternals, the movie, and I know it got a lot of kind of negative reaction when it came out. At least I think it did. I didn't think it was bad. You know, it was not an awful movie, but I cannot believe how much lore and story and backstory and characters were in that film. There was just far too much going on. It felt like a trilogy compressed into one movie. And it didn't really work that well in that sense. There was far too much. That probably would have worked better as a series, actually, if they could have kept up the high production values. A lot of actors and actresses just wasted in that. I'm not quite sure why Angelina Jolie, why they cast her as such a forgettable character. Very strange. And I could have sworn the guy from Doctor Strange was in it. Is it Wong? But it's actually a completely different chubby Asian fella. So that's me being a little bit racist there. Can't tell people apart. But, you know, what are you going to do? Let's see what Uno Aharo's got to say.
Pazda wahota hagwatopi. Watuma the bota donwi wanki watoba jakamuka. Odwana ubikili watapunka toka potoga lurda.
I get the feeling we've met before.
Jeska koli raka kanchanga. Bomba kunchinka. Mokili mukunki ne ata bomba po shunda. Niradisa slemo crispa, vakanki kon kikopa.
Maybe we have a destiny to defeat the Empire together.
Huka taba takunka kon kipuna.
I'm taking charge of all Jedi forces. We're rallying reinforcements at these coordinates. Go.
Ono bonga wa unikupa. Tomti tok makitogi. Upo konko haya, kolka.
T7, honestly. A little bit braggadocious, don't you think? Yes, let's get on and find the next Jedi. But yes, Eternals. I would recommend watching it. It's a bit of a long film, 2.5 hours. But yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was. The next film I've got to.
Reinforcements from Orto and Rhodia have arrived. You should keep searching for your people out there.
Okay. The next film I've got to see is Wakanda Forever. Now, I've never seen that one. So I'm not sure if it is any good. I've heard mixed things about it. I didn't hate the first Black Panther film, so I'm hopeful for it. I know it obviously had a very troubled production with what was his name? Chadwick Boseman, is it? Having passed away before they started making the film. Oh, I see. This is a base, isn't it? You have to go through. Okay. But yeah, I'll see what I think about that one. I think after that, it's the one I'm dreading, Love and Thunder. I did to be honest, I said a while ago I'm just never going to watch these films because they sound awful. But I do kind of want to stay up to date with the MCU. I don't want to be put in a position where it gets suddenly really good and I'm way behind. I don't know what's going on. So I am doing my best to try and what's that? Oh, it's the heroic. Never mind. I am trying to keep up with it now. I'd love to get all of the Netflix series on DVD, but I don't think they've released a lot of them. There's only a few available, which is a bit crappy. I'm a big believer in physical media. I can't stand the idea of stuff disappearing and you've got no way to watch it except illegally. But yeah, Love and Thunder. Not looking forward to that. Not really looking forward to the Marvels, although, again, that's one of those where a lot of the negativity seems to stem from people just saying it's crap. You know, without any, just because, oh, it's got Captain Marvel in, Brie Larson. Everybody hates Brie Larson. So it's one of those where I do kind of want to watch it and just back up my own man, because I didn't think Captain Marvel was a bad film. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's not the best film in the world, but it was no worse than some of the other less memorable MCU outings, right? I'm not quite sure why people absolutely hated it. I wasn't a fan of the fact that Captain Marvel jumped straight into Endgame. That seemed like a bit of a cheat, but still. That side, her solo film wasn't awful. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Right now, I'm a little bit bogged down in the series. The next one I've got to watch is Hawkeye, and I've heard that one's not bad, so I am quite looking forward to that. It's just I don't know. It's a lot less of a commitment to watch a movie, because I can watch a movie a week, something like that. But a series, you've got to dedicate some serious time to watching a series. So that's why I get a little bit annoyed with Disney Plus shows.
These Mandalorian mercenaries worked for the Empire. They were hunting me. I'm sorry. This is difficult. Seeing you, surrounded by dead men, reminds me of things I'd rather forget.
What happened on Tython was a lifetime ago. We're different people now.
Sometimes it feels that way. Right now, it could be yesterday. I arrived with 3 masters the Council assigned to me. They're dead. We are being slaughtered here.
The Council appointed me Supreme Commander of the Jedi on Corellia. We have reinforcements gathering nearby. Go to these coordinates.
Supreme Commander. It will be an honor to serve you. Do you ever wonder if I prepared you for this? Perhaps the Force guided me to attack you on Tython.
If it was the Force, it wasn't the light side guiding you.
You're right. I shouldn't think about such things. I'll go to the coordinates and wait for your orders.
Okay. I'll be honest with you. I've forgotten a lot of what happened on Tython, so...
Transports from Kenyon and Duro brought more reinforcements. We're still waiting for others. Keep up the search for your people already here.
I will do, my friend, don't you worry. But no, yeah. They, sorry, no, but yeah. Tython was a long time ago. I must have been playing this for well over a year, because I'm up to 70-something episodes, and I've only released 1 episode a week. fact, might be up to 80 odd episodes now. Thinking about it, I haven't edited the last few yet, so I'm not quite sure what number this is. We are speeding rather quickly towards the end, though. If you're not aware of that, I believe this is the last full planet that we will be adventuring on. So is this the Solonian tunnel? How do we get down? Oh, I remember this. I think we've been in here, haven't we? I think. Have we? Oops. Perhaps this isn't the way down. Well, yes, this quest certainly seems to be heavily Tython inspired. So I'm wondering whether it's our story coming full circle here. Which might be an interesting way to go about it. So we need to head down this way. We did go into a Solonian tunnel, but I'm not sure if it's this one. Yes, it does look familiar. So perhaps I was meant to do these quests at the same time? Who knows? Conquest objective completed. So what level are we up to? Level 73. I'm not sure if that's good or bad for ending the storyline. I think the original level cap was 65, so I think we have reached more than the level we should have by this point. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it 75? I thought it was 65. I'm not sure what the level cap is now, of course. There's been plenty of expansions released, and a few of them are playable in the free-to-play mode. But we're not going to look at them just yet. We're going to go on and play some different games first. We're going to play Knights of the Old Republic. We're going to play Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords. And then we're going to come back and play a dark side character's origin story. So either the Sith Warrior or the Sith Inquisitor, I think the other one is. Probably the Sith Warrior, because I think it'll have a similar play style to the Jedi Knight, which I'm used to at the moment. And we'll play through that. Definitely looking forward to playing KOTOR again.
I hoped we'd meet again. You changed my life on Tatooine, and I never had the chance to thank you. The Empire sent these droids to crush Corellia's resistance fighters. When I learned of the attack, I came to save these people. It's a strange thing, saving lives instead of taking them. But it feels right. I'm stronger than I've ever been.
We're going to save this entire planet. Are you strong enough for that?
Adding my strength to yours will be a great honor.
Master Satele named me Supreme Commander of Jedi Forces. Rendezvous with our reinforcements at these coordinates right away.
Understood. I will see you there.
Okay. So these must be different Solonian tunnels then, because I don't recognise this place, and it went on for longer, the last one we went into. So that's not too bad. Let's head on out and we'll see where the crashed Star Cruiser is. We have found a few crashed Star Cruisers on Corellia. So, where this one is specifically... Oh, can you get...
transport of reinforcements is docking now. There's still Jedi on the planet not accounted for, though. Hope you find them.
So we can get straight through, that's a bit easier. Let's have a look. So it's down here. So if we get through here, we need to turn right. I think. Droid standing there, I didn't notice. So I think I've got every issue of Bantha Tracks now, apart from the final one, issue 35, which I'm struggling to find a copy of. If anybody has a copy and they want me to have it instead of them in exchange for money, let me know, because I am looking for that issue. There's also a poster book, I think, that I haven't got yet, but I don't think that's particularly rare, so I can pick that up at pretty much any time. I'm going the wrong way. Let's ignore that. There's also a couple of issues that I want to get replacement copies of, because I think mine have got things like order forms and stuff cut out of them. It's only a couple of issues. And then there's issues 1 to 4, which I've got the compilation issue of, but I'd like to get the full versions. So, but they're not as much of a priority. So, what I'm collecting now are the Lucasfilm fan club magazines, and they ran from, I think, 1988 up to sometime in the early 90s when they got replaced by Insider, and I think Insider continued the numbering of that magazine. So if you're a collector of Insider and you always wondered why it started with, I think, issue 23, that's the reason, because it actually continued the numbering from a completely separate magazine, which is interesting, sort of. I thought it was interesting. Yeah, I think what's good about the fan club magazine is that it doesn't actually, well, like this is like the inside of the Millennium Falcon. It doesn't just focus on Star Wars. It's also got like Willow, when they made that, Tucker, Indiana Jones, of course, Young Indy, I think, is what was coming out at the time. But yeah, it's quite an interesting little magazine. If you can get hold of a few copies of it, I'd recommend it. That is, if you're interested in like the history of Star Wars and things like that, which I am, very much so. Here we go. So which Jedi are we going to rescue this time? Didn't know there was a Sith attacking my droid. What a dick. There we go. Come on, T7. There's another Sith over there. There's a Sith Hunter over there. There's quite a few. I'm going to lie down. Not very dark side of him, is it that? Yes, I've got a week off work, so my plan is to finish the Jedi Knight origin story. I don't think there's a lot left, but there's probably is a few more videos left in this storyline. But yeah, I am kind of looking forward to getting this done so I can, you know, do something a little bit different. Not that I haven't enjoyed it, I have, for the most part. But yes, I am looking forward to playing KOTOR. Kind of rating it as well a little bit. Of course, I'll be playing it light side as much as possible. What's up, T7? Oh dear. So I've got some more fighting.
Thank you, my friend. Those assassins were highly persistent. Before they attacked, the Sith showed me a hollow of Master Braga. He ordered them to kill me.
Master Braga is a puppet. The Emperor was trying to demoralize you.
Seeing our most peace-loving master speaking with such hatred was horrifying.
Master Satele appointed me Supreme Commander of Jedi forces here. You should meet our reinforcements at these coordinates.
I fear I'm not much of a soldier. I've never truly recovered from what happened on Tatooine. I've barely managed to survive so far. Perhaps my talents are better applied elsewhere. I could focus on evacuating the wounded to the medical transports.
I need every Jedi to stop the Emperor's plan. But do what you feel is right.
I have faith you will defeat the Emperor without me. When you find Master Braga, please bring him home alive. May the Force be with you.
Okay. I was a bit confused. I didn't quite know what to say to her, but thought, well, you know, we'll let her decide. There's no point in forcing somebody to fight if they don't want to, but at the same time, you know, telling her to, yeah, go and help the wounded is kind of giving in to her own weaknesses. So I'm not quite sure what the light side correct response should be. So I've got to go back to Captain Rigdeen. And I'm sure he's going to send us on our next quest. I'll put my speeder. Ooh. I'm curious at some of the like weirder things that people collect, Star Wars related specifically. Like, do people collect things like the Pez dispensers and stuff like that? And I guess there's some things that you could collect that aren't actually that difficult to collect because there's not that many of them. You know what I mean? Like, if you wanted to collect the comic books, well, good luck, because there's thousands of them, yeah? I mean, there's 107 issues just of the original series alone. And then you've got variants, like the UK weeklies, you know, if you wanted to collect those. And you've got the compilation issues they did. We're just talking about the original stories that they released back in like the 70s and 80s here. And then there's the different language versions that add unique artwork for covers and things like that. If you're a serious collector, you're going to want all of that, right? Yeah? Maybe? So to me, I don't know, that seems a lot. And then, of course, you get onto things like, you know, you've got to get the Blackthorn 3D issues. You've got to get the Dark Horse issues, and that's when things get even tougher. Because, okay, maybe you're not spending the same amount as you are on some of the original Marvel issues. I don't know if there's any single issue of a Dark Horse Star Wars comic that's quite as much as a like an original Marvel. There might be, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. But that's when you get to the point where there are thousands of comic books. At least I think I'm right in saying thousands. Definitely, if you include all the variants, you're looking at thousands and thousands of comics. I think. I might be wrong. Let me know. Certainly looking at a hell of a lot. And, I don't think there's anybody that can boast that they've got every single issue of Star Wars ever released. I don't think. I might be wrong about that, and I would love to be wrong about that. I'd love to see somebody's complete collection. But then, as well, like action figures as well, that's the other popular one, isn't it? How could you possibly collect all of the action figures? You just can't. It's impossible, I would say. And, well, I suppose it's impossible if you wanted them all in packaging, If you didn't want them all in packaging, maybe it's more possible, but, yeah, it's not the same, is it? I don't know. Oh, they're all here, look. Everybody was rescued.
All Jedi reinforcements are present and accounted for. General Var Suthra is requesting you on a priority channel. Patching him through now.
Hello, my old friend. I understand you're Supreme Commander of the Jedi forces here.
I see you're back in the thick of things. What can I do for you, sir?
Master Satele has informed me you're looking for a Jedi Master helping the enemy. I'm placing my resources at your disposal. I have a base camp in Labor Valley. Bring your people to my position.
Jessica Koliraka Kanchanga. Bomba Konchinka.
I'll see you soon, my friend. Var Suthra, out.
General Var Suthra. It's been a while since we've seen him, isn't it? But yes, this is definitely the story coming full circle. Speak to General Var Suthra. Death Cloud. Okay, so whereabouts does he want to speak then? Oh, the next area. Okay. This is interesting because this is, I think, the second time we've actually managed to get the planetary quests done before we started the class quests, and it's looking a little bit like maybe that was the wrong choice on this planet. It doesn't really make sense story-wise because we kind of defeated the Empire and on this planet a little bit, and now they are back. No, it's not that one. That's taken us to the Republic fleet, isn't it? That medical. Oh, let me just drop off at the old medical droid because I think I've probably got some crap to get rid of. Oh, take that. No influence. No influence. Interesting. T7 can have that. Just close the map down so I've got that open. Small influence gain. There you go, T7. I don't know what he does with all the crap I give to him. Okay, that's a waste of time, but we'll keep it. Yeah, what I really want to do is find some decent armor, but I don't know, I just don't seem to. Stim pack. Stim, there'll all be stims. No influence. Oh, small influence gain. There you go, T7. He's loving it. Moderate influence gain. Why it takes so long to give a companion a gift? There we go. Okay. There, buddy. I want to sell all this crap to you. And I want to repair everything else we've got.
You are fit for duty. Return to your post.
Thank you, my friend. Right, let's find... It's the train, isn't it, on this planet? This thing here. So we're going to head over to the next area. I can't remember what the next area is, but we do get there by hopping onto the old train.
Welcome. Please select an available travel route. Have a safe and pleasant stay.
Thank you, I will. Off we go. I really like the method of getting around this planet. I think it's pretty cool how they've done it. Here we go. A bit like a roller coaster. You know, if roller coasters were a bit crappy. Here we are. Labor Valley, that's it. Hop off. So we should have done all the exploratory missions and everything. We should only really need to be doing the actual story missions. So I think we're in a pretty good position. Okay. I think we have to go that way. Yeah, navigating the planet isn't the easiest, I will be honest. So we're coming down here, then across, I think. Yep. So I'm not quite sure what this death cloud is that we're coming to going to deal with. I'm guessing that's what the Emperor is going to use to try and destroy the planet for his dark side ritual. Which, if you remember, is the whole point of this chapter in the game. The Emperor is trying to destroy planets in order to complete a dark side ritual and thus, well, do something evil. I'm not quite sure what it is he's planning to do once he's completed his dark side ritual, but but we're not going to let him. We've already stopped him on 2 planets, Belsarvis and Voss, I believe they were. So it's just Corellia left. Yeah, you take that, stupid droid. Stopping me in my tracks. So you're thinking about Star Wars magazines. The other magazines that exist, of course, there is Insider, which I've got, I think, up to issue 30 something or other of them, and I'm not sure how much I'm going to collect of Star Wars Insider because, again, it's a space issue. I think I'm going to have to get some comic boxes and some special bags and boards for all these magazines. And then there's Galaxy Magazine, which I've already got most of them. Galaxy Collector, which I've got a couple. I guess this is just Var Suthra's camp. I think that's pretty much it for magazines. So yeah, well, I'll have a look into it. Also, kind of want to collect trading cards, but there's no way I would be able to afford to do that.
General, my forces are on the way.
Glad to hear it. An agent with SIS is bringing us the latest intel on Master Tal Braga. In the meantime, we should form a battle plan to drive the Empire from this sector. It's running riot here. Lagrem Thrakis is one of the chief suppliers of the Republic's war effort. She owns half the facilities in Labor Valley.
The Empire appropriated my weapon factories. They're stealing billions of credits worth of firepower.
What sort of armament is the Empire taking?
My factories produce everything from personal blasters to capital ship torpedoes. The Empire is looting all of it.
I recommend devoting all Jedi forces to removing the enemy from those weapon factories. We certainly need munitions more than the Empire. That's a priority signal from the Supreme Chancellor. Excuse me.
There is more to this than weapons, you know. The Empire also seized my company's base of operations. I want it back. If you were to allocate forces towards liberating my corporate offices, I'd be extremely grateful. And I do mean personally.
Why would the Empire raid your corporate offices?
I've never trusted Corellia's banking system. I convert all my company's monetary reserves into precious resources. Many are hidden beneath the offices. The Empire hasn't found my resources yet, but given enough time, they will. There's no telling what they could do with all that wealth. I run a multi-trillion credit corporation. If you help me, you won't be disappointed with your reward.
Never seen this many Jedi in one place. Blasted impressive. If we're going to retake those weapon factories, your people need to go now.
I want those weapon factories cleared of all Imperial forces. Don't let the enemy escape with any munitions.
General Varsuthra, we've learned the Jedi traitor Tol Braga has sent a strike team to destroy Labor Valley.
What could destroy this entire sector?
The Sith have invaded a chemical refinery to create an improvised bomb. The explosion will release a massive toxic cloud. That cloud will kill everyone here and drift into the adjacent sectors, potentially millions of fatalities.
Point me to this chemical refinery. I'll handle the rest.
We still don't know which chemical refinery the Sith have, but we do know which chemicals they're gathering. Shutting down all the chemical pipelines feeding the refineries won't stop the Sith. However, it will give away their location.
Contact me when it's done. May the Force be with you all.
Okay. I liked the design of that business lady. She looked a little bit like someone from Tales of the Jedi, didn't she? I was just saying that a couple of episodes ago. We were talking about the aesthetic of Tales of the Jedi and how it doesn't really relate to what they later did with the era. But yeah, she looked very much a little bit like Empress Tata. So there's quite a few of these. So we have to go underground. So we'll have to go this way, I think. So I know I'm looking at the map more than I am on other planets, and that's because I keep getting lost. I just keep going the wrong way and ending up turning around and coming back, and I've done that a few times now. So even looking at the map isn't always a safe bet, but I think I'm going the right way this time. Trying to avoid these bad guys. But yeah, they certainly went to a lot of effort putting this map together. I'm not saying they didn't on the other planets, but I think putting a city together like this has got to be more difficult than putting together wide open plains. At least I think it has. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a game designer, so... but I would have thought mapping out an entire city with buildings and streets has got to be more difficult than just having like an empty space and just putting a few paths on it, a few mountains, maybe some trees, you know? In my opinion. In some ways, it's got to be easier to make a city more interesting to play in. Oh, bad guy. I can't see him, he's right there. Fair enough. Let's just kill him. Come on. Okay, we've got 30 droids to destroy. My god. But we have got 3 pipelines to clear, so... Shut down, sorry. 3 pipelines to shut down. And then they should be able to locate where the Sith's hiding. But yeah, I think there are only 3 missions on Corellia as part of the class quest, but I suspect they're going to be fairly extensive ones, I would have thought. So, I'm not quite sure how long it's going to take us before we head off and do the finale. We're going T7. Looks like we're heading up. Oh. Says it's this way. Oh, it must be above us. That's why. Oh. Hi, robot. I'll tell you something I'd found interesting a while ago. I was watching an episode of The Twilight Zone, one of the original episodes from the 1950s, I think it started. And they had an episode where a chap's trapped on a planet with a robot, and they call it Robits. Robit is a robot. And I just wondered if that was the original pronunciation of robot. Or robot, something like that. You know, they didn't put the stress in the same place as we do nowadays. Okay. Oh, we shut down the second one first. That's strange. Yeah, a robot is a robot. Now kind of put the stress on the bot, don't we? It's a robot. But, I don't know, I thought it was interesting. I did quite enjoy watching some of those Twilight Zones, but I can't remember what series it was. What season, sorry, but they made them like an hour long, and it was just far too long for a Twilight Zone. You know, you had such a good idea at like 20 minutes. It just worked so well. Then they started making them an hour, and it was like, I really need to sit through an hour of this? You know, like these little stories, you kind of dragged it out. And I kind of feel it's very similar with some like Disney Plus series, and really any streaming show series. Where they have a story and they just drag it out because they got, you know, they want to make 8 episodes or 10 episodes or whatever it is they want to do. You think, really, you could have just kind of done this in a movie, you know, or like a mini series or something, you know, 3 or 4 episodes. Not all stories need the same amount of time to tell, and that, in some ways, was originally one of the strengths of doing a streaming series, because you could tell the story with as long as you needed to tell it, you know? But now they've kind of gone the other way, and it's rather than speeding through stories like you get in some movies where you think, oh, this, you can't fit this entire story in one film. A little bit like The Eternals. They go the other way and say we need to make this story last for this many episodes. But yeah, just my opinion. I'll tell you, like, The Mandalorian Season 1 and 2 really seemed to get it right. That was just about the right amount of time you needed to tell that story, and it wasn't really an epic story or anything like that. It was just a story. It was quite episodic, and it just worked so well. I think you could have made it like a 24 episode season, like back in the 90s and early 2000s. But it was fine. It might have felt overstretched at that point, going on adventure after adventure after adventure, but it really did work for me. And I would have watched more of that. But it absolutely did get to the point where I wouldn't say I was getting bored, but I wanted... I kind of wanted more adventure than what Season 3 offered. Season 3 kind of went a little bit... Oh, that's the way out. Sorry. Season 3 just kind of went back on itself, and I'm not quite sure what happened there. It didn't work as well. Anywhere near as well, I would say. But yeah, one of the few streaming shows where I felt they got it just right. But the same with like Daredevil as well, actually. Because it never got boring. And it ended just about the right time. Okay, so that's Gamma shut down, so just one more pipeline shut down. We've only got 3 more droids to kill until we get the bonus as well. Which is nice. Yeah, I do find quite a lot of streaming shows quite forgettable, I should say. Not that I've watched a great many of them, I don't think. To be honest, a lot of them are so forgettable I can't really remember what they were that I've seen, but yeah. I quite liked some of the, was it The Haunting of Hill House? That was quite well done. I've read the novel, it's absolutely nothing like the novel. They kind of did their own thing with it. But then they also did Bly Manor, and that didn't work at all. That really did seem like a series where they had no idea what they were doing. They were just making it up as they went along. And there were far too many episodes for their premise. So, yeah, that didn't work. But the original one did, even though it was completely different to the story that... they didn't bother adapting the actual story. Which is fine, because the actual story only really works as a novel. And if you've never read The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson, and you like ghost stories, it's definitely worth a read, because it's one of those books where it's not scary. There's nothing scary in that book at all, but it does give you this sense of unease, and I don't know what it is about it. It really did make me think, what have I read? But yeah, maybe if you've read it, you know what I mean. There's no actual horror in the book, except this general, like, what was real, what was imagined. And you feel kind of bad for the character, the main character, who you get the impression is perhaps a lesbian or something. There's certainly one lesbian character in it that's never stated, but is quite obviously a lesbian. But yeah, it's well, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but there's the character's basically thinks that she's friends with these people. You know, she kind of answers an ad to go and conduct this, be part of this experiment in this haunted house. And she's not a very sociable person. She's been a carer for her mother for years and years and years, and her mother's died, so she feels like she's suddenly free. But she's never married or anything like that, and she goes off to do this experiment as like something to do, and the other people that have answered the experiment are all friendly people. You know, there's no nasty people, but they all kind of make fun of her in a way, but she don't realise it. But the story's told from her point of view, so you don't kind of realise it either. And it's only later on that you do, and you feel kind of sorry for her. You kind of go on this journey with her. It's very, very well done. But yeah, there is a scene in it that's quite, I thought was quite unsettling. And I don't really know why I found it quite unsettling, but I did. But yeah, definitely worth a read. The series is very good, but absolutely nothing, completely different story, really. Just some of the names are carried over. But the series is very good for its own, you know, own reasons. But yeah, that blind manor was awful. No idea what they were thinking. I'm not sure if he's done any others. The same guy. Okay, let's see what Varsutha's got to say.
General, I've shut down the chemical pipelines.
Stand by. Agent Helver is collating the data. Did you run into much trouble out there?
There were a few troublemakers who soon saw the error of their ways.
Forgot how much fun it is to work with you. Hang on, we're getting something. One of the chemical plants was siphoning accelerite. We found our Sith bomb makers. I'm sending the coordinates to you and your strike team now. They'll meet you inside. Hurry!
Right. Yes, I did think these missions were going to be quite extensive. If you remember when we did the planetary quests, there was a mission that just did not end. It just went on and on and on, objective after objective after objective, and I'm expecting the same for all of the missions on Corellia, because, like I say, this is the last full planet that we have. So I think they're going to make the most of it, really make us work for the achievement. I already feel like we've worked a lot on this planet, so we'll see. Yes, we're in here. Oh my. Okay, I've got another bonus to defeat 15 Imperial forces now. Remember, this is the same mission. So, it looks like we can get around, doesn't it? Oh no. To be honest, I was expecting to be able to get around here. Perhaps we do have to go through the middle. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the point of that is. So that's firing. When it stops firing, we run on through and fight these guys. I'm gonna push you in there, buddy. Oh, he's a Sith Master. I probably should have fought him by himself then, should I? Never mind. Come on, T7, I'm going to need a bit of backup here. That's the Sith Master defeated. And that's him defeated. And that's the droid defeated. Good going, T7. I'm assuming you helped me out a little bit there. It doesn't look like there's anything up here, does it? And nothing up this one. Some more bad guys over the next area. Let's go jump into combat. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, what other things are there that people collect in terms of Star Wars things? I mean, as a main collection. I know people have got lots of little, like, collections and things, but as a main collectible, what would you say? Other than story content. I mean, lots of people collect the stories. I don't think there's anything weird there. I can't really think of much. I think trading cards are probably a big one. They're obviously collectible in their own right. Video games, you know, people collect those. I collect those as much as I can. Space is obviously a big problem when it comes to collecting stuff like video games. Okay, so I'm guessing. Yeah, we're heading up here. You know, sometimes there's only so much that you can collect. I know people that collect like the statues, the little statuey things, but again, it's one of those things where you're only ever going to be able to get the ones that you like. You know, you can't collect everything, like Hot Toys and stuff like that. They're such a high-end collectible that you can't really, I don't think, get a full collection of them. Can you? Are there people that have got every Hot Toys ever released? Legion, that's a good one. People could collect something like all the Star Wars Legion miniatures. I'd love to collect them, but I have to limit myself. I'm only collecting Imperial stuff. And even that, I'm only getting the stuff that I like. You know, I'm not getting everything. So, stuff that can work as an army. That's my plan. But yeah, you could collect that. You could collect the original West End Games miniatures. They were nice. Or the WizKids miniatures. They're probably a bit easier to collect because, again, there's a finite amount and they were all numbered, you know. Originally they were in blind boxes though, so they were an absolute nightmare to buy when they were coming out. I had quite a few of them. My brother collected most of them, but sold them all for quite a good amount, I have to say. A good few years ago now. But yeah, they were fun. A lot of expanded universe content there.
I'll get us through this door. Hang on.
She's a lot better at combat when she's in a cutscene than in reality. Is that what I'm supposed? Is that the level I'm supposed to be at? Just hacking them down? Or were they just bad Sith? There we go. Yeah, I need to get... Oh, thanks for the help. I need to get back into painting. Again, to get some stuff done, honestly. I feel like I'm studying a course at the minute, which takes up a lot of free time. And I'm also playing the Old Republic at the minute, which is taking up a lot of free time. So, you know, I'm also doing a lot of reading, a lot of film watching, TV program watching. I've got some articles I need to write and things like that. So it just is a lot of free time taken up. But I do find painting a relaxing thing, apart from when it goes horribly wrong and looks like shit, you know? And that's really disappointing when you spend hours on something and it just doesn't turn out how you wanted it to. But it's all part of the journey of discovery, and I think you have to kind of try and have a different point of view. I think that's where I'm going wrong. I'm not very good at saying, okay, well, it's not how I imagined it being, but it's how it is, and that's how it looks, you know? And maybe I'll do better next time, you know, if I'm not happy with it, rather than saying I'm just going to take it all off and start again, and then never actually get anywhere with it, because that's how I seem to paint at the minute. I just never get anywhere. So yeah, I've got a load of stuff half done. I want to, before I start anything else, I want to finish the stuff that I've started. So I've got an ATST half painted. I've got a Darth Vader half painted. Darth Vader shouldn't take long to paint, actually. If you think about it, he should be a fairly straightforward paint. Who else is there? A General Veers half painted. And then I've also got a box of Scout Troopers to paint up, but I've not even opened the box yet for them. And again, I'm not expecting them to be too much work to paint. And then I'm probably going to call it a day for my Legion, because I think that's pretty much everything that I was looking to get. I think I've got a decent army's worth there. Maybe get a couple of Scout Trooper bikes, you know, maybe. I was looking at the Dark Troopers. They might be fun. But I do kind of want to get back into painting Warhammer. Because I've got... They call it the pile of shame. The stuff that you've bought and never painted. And my pile of shame is actually taking up quite a lot of space in my home. So I do kind of need to get back into that. I really do. Lord Argos, hello. And the problem is with Warhammer as well, is the stuff is sometimes made not available, you know? So they'll release something and then like in a couple of months it's suddenly unavailable on the website. So you feel like you have to buy stuff straight away, which isn't a good position to be in. Right, we're fully healed up. Let's jump in and take out Lord Argos. But the thing is with Warhammer as well, I really like the Horus Heresy stuff. I really, really like it. And that's what I'm kind of limiting my new model buying to, that line. And it's only stuff that I can use with my Ultramarine army, so I'm not buying the, you know, all the different miniatures that can't be used with Ultramarines, you know, or the Traitor Marines and stuff like that. But I also really like the original designs, the old Hammer stuff. So I do kind of want to buy some more of that to paint up. There's a lot of recasters out there, but as long as it's a good recast, it doesn't really bother me.
General, the chemical plant is ours. The Sith never finished their bomb.
After all our time together, I never expected anything less. Your Jedi army sent the Empire packing. Every weapon factory in the sector is now ours, and we're turning those munitions against the enemy. Even better, there were no casualties among your people. It's a rock-solid victory.
The man directing our enemy is still at large.
My people will root out Master Braga's hiding place. We just need more time. Republic forces have just engaged the Empire in the Axial Park sector. The fighting is heavy, and SIS reports plenty of Sith activity. I already have people in Axial Park at these coordinates. I'll alert the other Jedi to meet you there. Marsuthra, out.
Congratulations. You've saved all my weapon factories at the expense of my company's assets. The Empire stole all our precious resources. My company lost billions to those scum. Farewell, Jedi.
She wasn't very happy, was she? Ah, well, T7, what are you going to do? You can't win them all. By recast, what I mean is a original model. The original models were made of lead or white metal later on. But people, what they've done is they've made a mold from those original miniatures and then recast them. And sometimes those recasts are absolutely awful because they've got the original mold lines and then they've got new mold lines because they've obviously made a mold from an already molded miniature. But at the same time, those original miniatures, the lead ones in particular, they're just not really viable to use anymore. A lot of them have succumbed to lead rot, and lead, of course, is poisonous metal. So yeah, you kind of have to be careful. But as long as the recast is done well, I'm not that bothered about it. I would just rather them be upfront and say it's a recast and charge accordingly. It's where they recast something and then sell it as an original miniature is where I have issues. A lot of issues. Anyway, where are we heading to? Okay, so it looks like we're going to go over to Axial Park next. So what I'm going to do is call it a day there, and we'll come back next week, head over to Axial Park, and we'll see how much we can get through of the class quests on Corellia. Thank you for watching.